In today's top stories, US authorities capture the East Coast most wanted MS-13 leader in a dramatic joint operation. President Trump intensifies effort to assert US control over Greenland, citing national security. HHS announces sweeping layoffs under government efficiency reforms, while new revelations emerge about press manipulation during the Biden administration. Indian American Jay Bhattacharya is confirmed as the new NIH director, sparking praises and criticism. A Hindu studies course at a Texas university ignites backlash over perceived Hindu phobia. Meanwhile, India US tension rise over visa fraud, and India passes a major immigration reform bill focused on national security. In Kashmir, a terror operation continues as three police officers are murdered. Internationally, Zelensky makes a stunning claim about Putin's health as Ukraine and Russia attempt to negotiate a fragile ceasefire. In breaking news, FBI captures top MS-13 gang leader in Virginia raid. In a major victory for federal law enforcement, U.S. authorities have arrested Henry Hoge Villatoro Santos, a top East Coast leader of the violent MS-13 gang in Woodbridge, Virginia. The 24-year-old Salvadoran national is charged with being an illegal alien in possession of firearms, including a 9mm pistol, ammunition, and suppressors. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel monitored the early morning raid from Tactical Operations Center. President Donald Trump hailed the arrest as a major success, writing a big deal on social media. The joint operation involved the FBI, ICE, ATF, Virginia State Police, and local authorities. The FBI stated thus that Santos' bedroom contained indicia of MS-13 association, and a stun grenade was used when he refused to surrender. The raid concludes weeks of surveillance. Officials said Santos was one of the three highest-ranking MS-13 leaders in the US and praised the seamless coordination of the arrest. Trump doubles down a plan to assert US control over Greenland. President Donald Trump has reiterated that the US is willing to go as far as we have to go to secure Greenland as a part of a national and global security efforts. The announcement comes as a Vice President J.D. Vance, Second Lady Ursula Vance, and Energy Secretary Chris Wright prepares to visit the Pituffik military space base in northwest Greenland. Trump dismissed international pushback, saying Denmark needs the US to take control of Greenland. Greenland's Prime Minister Mute Edge condemned the visit as highly aggressive and accused the US of placing undue pressure on the Greenlandic community. Trump, however, emphasized the strategic value of the Arctic island. If we don't have Greenland, we can't have great international security, he told reporters. Plan to visit Nook and attend a dog sled race have reportedly been scaled back. But tension remains high between the US, Greenland, and Denmark over Trump's ambitions. Trump admin slashes 10,000 jobs at HHS in cost cutting overhaul. The Department of Health and Human Services announced plan to eliminate 10,000 full-time jobs, part of a broader workforce restructuring under the Department of Government Efficiency. Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the reform would save the agency $1.8 billion annually and reduce bureaucratic bloat that grew under the Biden administration. The cuts will affect major agencies, including the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, FDA, CDC, and NIH. HHS insists services such as drug approvals, food inspection, and Medicare will remain unaffected. The FDA will cut 3,500 workers, CDC 2,400, and NIH 1,200, while consolidating procurement and HR services across 27 research centers. The reorganization comes on the heels of early retirement offer and job shifting incentives. Trump officials says the effort will create a leaner, smarter, more agile public health system. Former White House staffer accuses Biden team of media bullying. Michael LaRosa, former press secretary to First Lady Jill Biden, made explosive claim on Tuesday that Biden communications team engaged in a bullying campaign against journalists to push favorable coverage. Speaking with Sam Pugiar on the Young Turks, La Rosa, journalist to push favorable coverage, said the team acted as though they were operating out of a bunker under the leadership of Anita Dunn. He criticized the Biden administration for attacking polls, media outlets, and reporters discussing sensitive topics like president's age. I never understood it, La Rosa said, pointing out Biden's historically positive relationship with the press. He warned that these tactics undermine the administration's own narrative about defending democracy. The revelations could intensify scrutiny over how political communication team engage with media in high-stake election cycle. Jay Bhattacharya confirmed as an NIH director by US Senate. In a 53-47 vote, the US Senate confirmed Jaya Bhattacharya, an Indian American professor at Stanford University, as the new director of National Institute of Health. The announcement was lauded by President Trump, who praised Bhattacharya's commitment to making America healthy again. Known for his opposition of COVID-era lockdown and masking, Bhattacharya will work closely with HSS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on advancing public health innovation. He becomes the 18th director of the NIH and brings experience in medicine, economics, and health policies. Critics of his appointment point to his controversial pandemic stances, while supporters applauded his clause for science-driven policy making. Bhattacharya vowed to address chronic health needs using gold standard science and said he would revitalize medical research through transparency and efficiency. Hinduphobia alleged in University of Houston course. An online course at the University of Houston titled Lived Hindu Religion has come under fire from Indian American student Vasant Bhatt, who accuses it of promoting Hindu phobia and distorting Indian history. Bhatt, a political science major and Hindu activist, filed a complaint with the university dean, citing lectures that described Hinduism as a colonial construct and a system of oppression. The course is taught by Professor Aaron Michael Ulrich, whose materials include statement of Hindutva and its alleged weaponization. The controversy coincides with the India rejecting a USCIRF report that claimed rising persecution of minorities in India. Critics argue that course like this fuel biased international narratives against India. The university has said it is reviewing the concerns raised, but warns such false narratives could mislead young students and harm global understanding of India's religious and cultural diversity. In Indian news, US cancels 2000 Indian visa appointment over fraud. The US Embassy in India has cancelled over 2,000 visa appointments after uncovering systemic fraud involving bots and fixers. The cancelled appointment involved B1 and B2 visas used for business and tourism, already facing long delays. We have zero tolerance for agents and fixers, the consular team India posted on X. This comes amid rising student visa rejection, with the US denying 41% of F1 application in FY 2023-24. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar raised the issue of visa blockage backlog with Senator Marco Rubio, expressing frustration over the impact on India-US ties. In some cases, Indian applicants are being redirected to Frankfurt or Bangkok to expedite processing. The crackdown aims to secure the system, but applicants now face heightened uncertainty amid growing diplomatic concerns over US immigration practices. India passes immigration reform aimed at national security. Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday presented and passed the Immigration and Foreigners Bill 2025 in Lok Sabha, aiming to overhaul India's immigration system. Shah emphasized that while India welcomes tourists, students, and business visitors, those with malevolent intent would be strictly barred. India not a dharamshala, he stated. The bill mandates real-time data collection on the foreigners and strengthens border protocols. Shah cited growing numbers of Rohingya and Bangladeshi infiltrators, warning of security risk. The legislation is to expected streamline immigration, enhance national security, and support economic growth. Shah said the reforms align with India's 2047 vision to become a fully developed nation. Critics fear it may lead to profiling, but the government insists it balances openness with vigilance. Three policemen killed in Kashmir encounter amid major anti-terror operation. Three policemen personnel were killed and two injured in Kathua district, Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday during a massive anti-terror operation. Now, in its fourth day, two terrorists were also neutralized. The latest firefight occurred near Jakhol village, close to Sunday's earlier clash in Hiranagar sector. Officials believe the terrorists are part of the same group that evaded capture last week. Army Special Forces, police, and intelligence team are conducting the combining operation in a defense forest. Jammu and Kashmir DGP Nalin Prabhat is on site overseeing the mission. Security forces say the terrorists infiltrate through the Pakistan border using forested terrain and had local support. The loss of three brave officers has prompted tribute across the country, with renewed call to tighten infiltration routes in the region. Zelensky predict Putin's death, accuses Russia to delay tactics. In international news, in a stunning statement, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky predicted that Vladimir Putin will die soon due to deteriorating health. Speaking of Eurovision news, Zelensky claimed Putin hopes to stay in power until death and seeks confrontation with the West. Speculation around Putin's health has grown since his invasion of Ukraine, with rumors of cancer, Parkinson's, and recent photos showing IV marks on his hand. Kremlin officials have repeatedly dismissed such claims. Zelensky remarks come amid tentative ceasefire discussions between Russia and Ukraine, brokered by the Trump administration in Saudi Arabia. Russia reportedly demanded sanction relief before halting attacks, while Ukraine said the Black Sea ceasefire should take immediate effect. Zelensky accused Moscow of trying to manipulate peace effort, saying recent drone strike in Mykolaiv prove Russia isn't serious about de-escalation. That concludes today's bulletin. Stay tuned for continued update. These developing stories unfold. I am Nutan Vyas and this is your daily news wrap up. Thank you.